Hello, welcome to the Candidate Forum for Los Angeles County Superior Court Office Number 12, presented by the League of Women Voters of Los Angeles County. I am Margot Rieg. I am co-president of the Los Angeles County League of Women Voters, which is composed of 10 local leagues. We are a nonpartisan grassroots organization working to protect and expand voting rights and ensure everyone is represented in our democracy. We empower voters and defend democracy through advocacy, education, and litigation at the county, state, and national levels. We put on candidates forums as part of our voter service activity so that voters can listen to and question the people vying to represent them in county government. Los Angeles County Superior Court judges are elected locally or appointed by the governor to 6-year terms. Leading up to the March primary, the League is conducting forums for all 9 contested judicial seats, which will be posted on YouTube. Our moderator for this forum is Dolores Gonzalez Hayes, a member of the Whittier League of Women Voters. Dolores has held positions as senior policy advisor to a member of Congress, executive director and policy director in nonprofit sector, national community development manager of a national bank, and housing director in local government. Our candidates have agreed to the League's rules, which require that they speak only about themselves and adhere to our time limits. We thank both Lynn Diane Olson and Rhonda Heyman for their participation today. Dolores, would you like to begin?
Thank you, Margot. Welcome, candidates, to today's forum. We will begin with the opening statements in alphabetical order, and you have 1 minute each. So we will begin with Rhonda Heyman. Rhonda.
Thank you. I am Rhonda Heyman, and I am the people's dream judge. And with me, you will go far. I believe in fairness, accountability, and respect. Justice is the cornerstone of our judicial system, and it demands and compels impartiality, a command of the law, which I've had over my 23 years as a deputy public defender. As an adjunct professor at Southwestern Law School, I'm teaching how to be a lawyer of the future, first with justice in mind, equity, and inclusion. As a Black woman in the criminal justice system as a criminal defense attorney, I've had the ability to be able to understand people and know where they come from and know that diversity is required. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we will continue with Lynn Diane Olson.
Thank you very much for having us for this recording this afternoon. Very much appreciated. I have been a Superior Court judge for 17 years and have handled a variety of assignments during my tenure. Everything from small claims, traffic, limited civil, unlimited civil, unlawful detainers, preliminary hearings, and currently the magistrate hearing. I believe I am fair, impartial, and unbiased, and I make all my decisions following the law. I believe it's very important for the litigants to be heard, to have time to be heard, and to base my decisions upon the law. I am very much interested in and participate a lot in continuing education. I find it very, very important to spend additional time outside of my work to keep up on the law. I thank you for my 17 years and would be my privilege to continue on the bench. Thank you.
Thank you both for your statements. It allowed us to learn more about your candidacy. We come now to the question and answer part of the candidates forum. You will have 1 minute to respond to each question, and we will begin with Lynn Olson and followed by Rhonda Heyman. The first question is a 2-part question, and it is, what is your theory of punishment What role do you see for rehabilitation and treatment as an option other than confinement, and the role of rehabilitation within confinement in jail or prison in the criminal justice system? We'll start with Lynn Olson.
Thank you. I believe that every person who appears in front of me on a criminal charge, you have to really understand the person, what the circumstances were with respect to the incident, and what is the appropriate resolution of the case. I believe rehabilitative services are very important in our criminal justice system. I think it's important to ascertain why the person is there in front of you. So whether if the person is currently in custody and it's determined to be necessary for public safety, if programs can be provided. But I think that based on individual determination, when it's so warranted, and I believe often it is, for any kind of programs or rehabilitation, whether it be diversion or part of probation, will only help serve our society, protect the public, and give the defendants who appear an option to get on with their lives and be, again, part of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Rhonda Heyman, 1 minute.
Yes, thank you. So first and foremost, as a criminal defense attorney for 23 years, I've had the ability to come into contact with many people from different backgrounds, cultures, and religions. That is the cornerstone to a resolution of rehabilitation. So you have rehabilitation in the form of mental health diversion, general diversion. Then you have jail, incarceration. And first and foremost, even if we start with incarceration, incarceration alone has not worked. Within incarceration, you have to have programming. Education, number one. Understanding the person, not just understanding the person, but knowing him. And that's where diversity kicks in. Because, for instance, in the California, there's 95,000 men in prison. Understanding why is it that so many men come into contact with that programming with regard to channeling in on all of the things that come before you and individuality, one case at a time, justice prevailing. And justice requires that you understand the person and the place from where they come. Thank you.
Thank you both. Second question is also a two-part question. And the questions are, overall, do you feel the criminal justice system works fairly and effectively in Los Angeles County? If not, why not? Do you think Los Angeles County courts do a good job of handling civil cases? And if not, why? Rhonda Heyman, 1 minute.
Thank you. Diversity. It's a lack. When you walk into a courtroom, as predominantly in my last assignment, I've been to several assignments throughout the county of Los Angeles, also having worked in Orange County as a deputy public defender. And the one thing that transpires is justice is not the same in each courthouse. Each courthouse administers a different form of justice for gun possession. In one location, you get prison. In another case, you get diversion. So there is no equity even amongst the courthouse. So in the criminal justice system, for instance, when you walk into the room and no one looks like you, but you look into the audience, there's nothing but Black and brown people. We have to have people who are on the bench who represent diversity. That way people will have more respect for the judicial system and the criminal justice system, thereby commanding changes, and their community can be safer when they have more respect for something that includes them by representation on the bench, also having an understanding of the people that stand before you. Thank you.
Thank you. Lynn Olson.
Thank you. From my perspective, I try every day to be fair and impartial to the people before me. And that requires taking some time. One of the stresses we currently have in our system is the significant number of cases, but the day is only so long. But it is very important to give each litigant, each party, each defendant their time and to have them be heard. So that is one of the stressors currently going on in the system. Is our system perfect? No, but I think it is the best in the world. I believe people are treated fairly, and I think judicial officers across the county do their best to do so. With respect to civil cases and also with respect to criminal cases, the legislature is passing laws that require looking at diversion for defendants and other programming. Civil cases, because of COVID, there is a backlog. So all of these matters take time. They're very, very important. And we as judicial officers, and speaking for myself, I follow the law, I do what it takes, and I get up every day hoping to be my best. Thank you.
Thank you both again. The following question is, what have been the most effective methods for improving court procedures and efficiency? What other methods would you suggest for improving procedures and reduce delays? Lynn Olson.
Thank you very much. I think remote hearings have helped greatly. It saves attorneys a lot of time and often their clients a lot of time as well. So I think attorneys being able to appear remotely saves valuable time and resources. Other effective things to improve the system, communication for attorneys and the bench to know when matters are going to be called and to be able to communicate that and try and keep to a schedule so time is not wasted. So I think those are two very important ways to improve access to justice. And I know our court is looking all the time at how to improve self-help. The self-help centers have resources at the courthouses for people who are self-represented to get the assistance they need to effectively present their positions and for them to understand what is going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Rhonda Heyman, 1 minute.
Yes, so both in criminal and civil, number one, conferencing. If you have a courtroom that has a lot of backlog, the failure to provide discovery in a timely manner, meaning evidence. So that's going to require each party to be prepared to hand over the evidence so that you're not coming back to court, numerous court dates, time after time. So in my courtroom, I would have conferences. On Fridays, they seem to be a little lighter. So those cases where there seem to be problematic discovery exchanges, I would have conferences where we meet in chambers and we discuss the potential problems that can exist with numerous court dates. Plus, you have people who are poor, pay for parking, take off time from work. We don't want that because that delays justice. Justice should be swift. So that also means that when you're in person, that the attorneys are prepared. In addition, one of the things that would be very good for more specialized courts where people are assigned, like with domestic violence, you have a domestic violence court. So the parties all know a procedure. If you have DUIs, specializing, of course, access to justice.
Thank you both. Next question. If you became aware of unethical conduct on the part of a trial advocate in a case in which you were presiding, how would you handle it? Do you believe judges should be required to report attorney misconduct? Rhonda Heyman, 1 minute.
Yes. In order for justice to reign supreme as it should, as commanded by our Constitution, each person appearing before the court shall be ethical. And with that being stated, I do believe that judges should report and be required to report attorneys that are being unethical because it's a threat to justice. And it places in the mind the person appearing in that court that there be no fairness. And then the court loses respect and justice is denied. So absolutely believe that attorneys should be reported to the state bar immediately with swiftness when unethical behavior is in fact detected. And with regard to ethics, that's why it's so important for the bench officer to also be ethical so the courtroom reads and reigns with justice reigning supreme.
Thank you. Lynn Olson.
Thank you. I agree that it is important for judges to report unethical conduct. The state bar is one of the mechanisms to do that, and they should be alerted. For people in our county to have confidence in the system, I think it's very important that they believe that the judges and the attorneys are acting appropriately and that ethical lines are not crossed. So yes, I believe that's important. Confidence in the system. And for judicial officers and attorneys, you want to make sure when you're hearing matters that you have trust in each other and in the system, that the advocacy is honest, based on the law, and zealous. And judicial officers and attorneys both have an obligation to conduct themselves ethically and to follow up if that is not occurring. Thank you.
Thank you. Last question. One of you is a sitting judge. So tell us about a case you presided over that you think exemplifies your judicial philosophy and why. And if you haven't served as a judge before, summarize what your judicial philosophy would be. And we'll start with Lynn Olson.
To summarize a case, well, thank you for this question. It's difficult because all cases are really significant. Some stay with you and you reflect on them. Some significant cases, I would have to say the most significant are diversions, or when people are granted programming as part of probation and you see how well they do and the charges get dismissed. Occasionally there are hiccups. People may violate, may not be doing so well, but if you understand and listen to what's going on in their lives, if they're given an opportunity, the successes are what really resonates. And there is no greater thrill and no greater sense of it's been a great day and this is what justice is about, to see someone get their life back on track and be able to vote, be able to keep their job, be able to keep their apartment, and to be able to be drug-free. That's what resonates. Thank you.
Thank you very much to both of you. Now we come to the concluding statements by each candidate, and each of you again has 1 minute.
Dolores, you forgot to ask Ms. Heyman to respond to that particular question.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
Okay. Yes, thank you. As I started out, fairness, accountability, and respect. Buried in fairness is justice. When any person comes into my courtroom, I want each side to know that I'm impartial. I know the law based on my experience. For instance, I've done, even though I'm a criminal defense attorney, I've had to learn family law based on those aspects, civil law, because they all come to a head in criminal court. So each time I talk to people, they talk about feeling like they are a part, like they are included, like they have a voice. So in my courtroom, my judicial philosophy would be, I follow the law, I know the law, and you are included. And I want a remedy. I want society to feel safer. I want a victim to be made whole. I want the person who stands accused to feel like, even though they may be incarcerated or jail or some diversion, that they were treated justly.
Thank you so much. Okay. Let's start with our concluding statements by each candidate, and each of you has 1 minute. So, because it was in alphabetical order at the beginning, so it's Lynn Diane Olson's turn. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. It would be an honor to continue to serve the citizens of Los Angeles County. I've been doing so for 17 years in some very, very demanding calendars. And I am able to make tough decisions. I am able to make decisions following the law. What comes into mind every day is the person standing before me, the matter before me, and hearing and making my best decision. I always keep public safety in mind. I always keep protection of society and what is an appropriate resolution based on the facts and the person standing before me. I get up every day ready and willing to work for the citizens of Los Angeles County, and I would be an honor to continue to do so. Thank you very much for your consideration and for your time today.
Rhonda Heyman.
Thank you. Courageousness. When I think of courageousness in our criminal justice system, I think of the Warren Court, where all of our amazing law that we hold these rights like they are in our back pocket. And that's our right to Miranda, to remain silent, our right to one person, one vote, our right to be able to not have racial zoning, our rights from the fact of separate but equal was not equal. That court was courageous. And from that court came some tremendous law that we hold true to the fiber of our souls. And I say that that's what's needed. We need a change. And I'm the person to do it. 23 years of successful representation, over 60 felony trials where I've tried for murders and those people are home because justice reigned. Because I've been fighting against just for the people to follow the rules. So I'm willing to take a stand and follow the law, even when it's not popular. Make independent decisions. Justice will reign.
Thank you very much, both of you.
Well, and I agree. Thank you very much to both of you for taking time to participate in this candidate forum, which will be posted on YouTube and linked to the League of Women Voters of Los Angeles website, which is www.lwvlacounty.org. The League of Women Voters also provides a free website for all candidates for county and other offices on the March primary. It's Vote 411. Please look for profiles of the candidates for county offices at Vote 411. You can make a plan to vote by entering your address and accessing your specific ballot. And, of course, be sure to vote either on election day at the vote center or by using your vote by mail ballot, which will be arriving about February 2nd or 3rd. Thank you very much, and thank you to my colleagues who have helped make this a production workout. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.